The Big Ten Network is proud to welcome you inside the Chrysler Center for perhaps the Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Match of the Year. 27-time Big Ten champion Michigan welcomes their rivals from East Lansing, Michigan State. And you're seeing that correctly. Both of these teams tied for number 13 in the nation. As we take a look at the Big Ten standings and all those trophies for Michigan, Minnesota, Michigan, and Michigan State, a perfect 2-0 in conference action. Alongside the four-time Big Ten champion from Michigan, Olivia Karras, I'm Dean Linke, delighted to be with you. And it's worth noting that Michigan State in their last two regular season matchups have beaten Michigan. That hadn't happened since 2007.
Michigan came back and did win the Big Ten championship, so they have gone back and forth, but today is big for both teams. B1G big, and there's a lot of good gymnastics to be had.
How does Michigan State win it here on the road?
Well, Skyla Schulte is the energy, the passion, the confidence of this team. Across the board, she's excellent, but floor exercise, she truly knows how to put on a show. But Michigan State already has a 10 in their rotation this year, and that's from Sage Kellerman, #1 in the NCAA on vault. Perfect 10 in her first meet of the season. Could she get it again today? I think she could.
And how about for the Michigan Wolverines?
Well, Sierra Brooks, I call her my president for a reason. Incredible across the board, slashing the Michigan all-around program record. She's one to watch across the board, and she is a true difference maker for this team. Gabby Wilson, though, knows how to put a show on floor exercise. She will be the final competitor of the evening. Could potentially come down to that event. She knows how to deliver when there's pressure. But Carly Bauman is a name you don't hear as much. I think she's the unsung hero of this Wolverine squad. 995 career high on uneven bars. Rock solid on the event and contributing on 3 events.
Of course, Michigan led by Bev Plotke, one of the true legends, any sport, any gender, 35 seasons. They did win a national championship not that long ago, and she is responsible for 26 of the 27 Big Ten titles. Bev Plotke. She's like the John Wooden, the Anson Dorrance, you name it. And then there's Mike Rowe. What a job he's done turning around Michigan State now in his 7th season.
What an incredible accomplishment for Mike Rowe, coming from a program that wasn't really up there in the rankings, now to be in Chrysler with the potential to beat this powerhouse Michigan squad with so much history and just so many accolades to their name. I talked to him today before the competition. He said, I'm so hyped up. I barely slept last night. I'm just so excited. There's so much energy already in this building. And that was at about 1:30 when the team hadn't even come into the arena. So he's truly so excited for today.
Of course, he is the coach of the bars team. Meanwhile, Michigan, 19th in the country, 3rd in the Big Ten on the vault. It'll be Gagino, Mulligan, Morrison, Wilson, Brooks, and Jordan for Bev Plotke and the Michigan Wolverines. Reina Gugino, what a story. Tough year last year, but she's right back at it, doing great.
And she's leading off with a very difficult Yurchenko 1.5, a blind landing, has a career perfect 10 as her career high. Here she goes. Big Yurchenko 1.5. Practically stuck. Not quite the perfect stick, but that is a statement to make in this competition. Coming out with that big vault. Excellent power onto the board. A little messy on the table, but look at the control here. Sees the ground, holds it for that teeny little hop, and there is that 1 second holding position to show control to the judges before turning to salute.
Well done. We'll take a look at the uneven bars lineup for Mike Rowe. Steven Jackard in for Schulte. Zamani, Kellerman, Smith, and Harkness. Gabby Steven, a junior from Elgin, Illinois, and she's got a career high of 9.975.
A near perfect career high, and there's a reason for that. She's so elegant, dynamic, very clean in everything she does. Excellent save there, a little bit over on that bail handstand, but great work bringing it back. Same thing there, hit the handstand, but just a little archy in her body position. Let's see if she can get this landing. There we go. exactly what Mike Rowe said he wants to see from this team. It's all about landings, landings, landings. He couldn't have said it more if he tried when we talked to him earlier in the day. Beautiful height off the table, legs together, and sees the ground, holds it, doesn't react, but Mike Rowe does react. Excellent leadoff performances from both teams.
Jenna Mulligan up next after seeing Reina tie the second best of the season with 9.875. Jenna Mulligan, 9.85 career high.
She's only competing the full twisting Yurchenko today, but it's big. If she can find the landing, it will be great. Good job on that full big step backward on the landing. It's very difficult to go between doing a full and a 1.5 to find that balance. Nice energy into the table, opens it up there, but just couldn't quite hold the position for a perfect landing. Does take that rather sizable step backwards. The judges will deduct for that.
Wonderful crowd here at Chrysler. No Skylar Schulte, so Jory Jackard gets the opportunity. She had a 10 back on March 5th a year ago. In the last meet, a 9.825 for Jackard. Jackard is a 5th year from Hazlet, Michigan.
Really important things here to look for on uneven bars, these handstands, landings, and watch out for the releases. The releases all need to have amplitude and be extremely dynamic. Beautiful opening handstand there for Jory. Oh no. Oh, so uncharacteristic. It looks like she just couldn't quite get her grip all the way over the bar. See right here, beautiful position, but just couldn't hang on. Unfortunately does fall there, but brings it back nicely with that bail handstand transition. This is a good time to note that there are 6 athletes competing on each event. 5 scores count. This is a score Michigan State will want to drop. Good job bringing it back there on the blindfold double tuck, just to slide back on the landing. But this is an opportunity for Michigan State to really get down to it, figure out how to have some grit, figure out how to land.
Naomi Morrison, let's take a look at what the judges look for on the vault. Nope, we'll do that later. Naomi Morrison, career high 9.975 up for Beth Plotke in Michigan.
Naomi is so good at finding this landing. It's a blind landing, so she really has to trust her training. But another Yurchenko, 1.5 here.
Gabby with a 9.85 for Michigan State, ties for second of the season.
Good power there. And a big step forward. Unfortunately, she did have a lot of forward momentum. So the judges will deduct for both an over rotation as well as that step. Really nice view there of the pre-flight. And here's that extra half turn that gives you the 10.0 start value, but very big step there. The judges will likely take a minimum of 1/10 deduction. So that will not be the big score that they wanted in that moment.
So this is Olivia Zamarni, the sophomore from Statesville, North Carolina, as she's got a career high of 9.9. And you see the scores, Jackard with a 9, Gabby Stephen with a 9.85.
Olivia has been really crucial for Michigan State. Hasn't competed on bars much this season as she's recovering from an injury, but this is a big moment for her. In-bar release, so good. Lots of amplitude there. Just the dismount, see if she can get that stick. Nice job holding on to the landing. You noticed her chest came down just a little bit. The judges will deduct for that, even though her feet did not move. Awesome view here from our crew. The big double layout. Forward there, you see her legs go straight. She needed to stay tight there before reacting, but what a recovery routine for Michigan State when they needed it most.
Gabby Wilson with a career high of a 10, ready to go on the vault. Let's flash back.
Last year's at Big Tens, tying for the championship on this event. She is so good at finding that landing position. They really could use that right now after that 9.875 from Naomi Morrison, but it was a big step forward. Good job on that Yurchenko 1.5. Still a big step forward. They're not quite finding that sweet spot between the perfect stick and the minimized deduction. Just a lot of momentum going forward. Gabby has so much power. The height, the execution is incredible. Opens it up there, but you do see that step, a smaller step than what we saw from Morrison prior to her, but still a step forward.
Sage Kellerman with a career high of 9.95 up next. Meanwhile, Olivia right before her at 9.85 for the third straight of the season. Sage Kellerman, a sophomore from the state of Michigan.
It's really important that they hit these remaining routines. So this is a very big moment. Good Jaeger from Sage. Her bail handstand transition, very well done. Pushed through the shoulders for a perfect handstand. Nice job on the final handstand, right into the dismount. Small little scoot backward, nothing major, but another incredible recovery routine from that fall from Jory Jackard. Here's the dismount, sees her toes, beautiful position in the air. The smallest little scooch backward, but you really needed to hit this routine, and she did that. Excellent execution in the double layout as well.
Michigan has had 3 9.875s, including back-to-back. Sierra Brooks next to go for the Michigan Wolverines. She has a career high of, you guessed it, 10.
It's a common thing with these Michigan vaulters. Another blind landing, Yurchenko 1.5. Small little scooch forward. Had to swing her arms there just a bit, which means the judges will deduct for what would likely be a little bit of a lack of balance, a lack of control. It was not out of control by any means. Awesome view here from our crew. You're seeing exactly what the judges are seeing. Check out that distance from the table. There's the one arm swing, nothing major here. I'm being really nitpicky, but beautiful open there. Sees the ground, small little scooch. And knowing Sierra, I know she wanted that stick so badly, but great work on minimizing the deduction.
Speaking of great work, Sage Kellerman, a 9.9, the first 9.9 on the bars this season. This is Nikki Smith for the Michigan State Spartans, career high 9.975. Nikki Smith next to go for Michigan State.
Beautiful first handstand. That was art museum worthy. Lovely job on her connection there. Maloney to pack salto. Beautiful job on the half turn. Excellent work. This routine so far is absolutely pristine. If she can get the landing, this will be a huge score. Oh no! Just that step forward. Unfortunately, that is both a under rotation as well as a step. The judges will deduct for both of those things. Looked like she just let go of the high bar a tad early, which results in under rotation. You see right here, her chest is just a little forward. It needs to be upright ever so slightly, but the rest of the routine was absolutely textbook.
Ava Jordan for Michigan, career high 9.85 last week, 9.7. Ava Jordan, a freshman from Indianapolis.
Head coach Bev Plotke said she is improving incredibly on this event, finding her stride. Good job there. Yurchenko full in the 6th spot. She just needs more competition experience. That comes with being a freshman. You're only in week 5 of competition, but great position on the table. Awesome execution. See that pike down there? The hips were a little bit closed, which resulted in the over rotation. But very good work on vault for the Wolverines.
Chrysler Center is jam-packed. I mean, almost all the way up to the entire row as they appreciate top-level gymnastics. Speaking of top-level gymnastics, Delaney Harkness got it done last year at the championships.
I think Delaney Harkness is one of the best bar workers in the country. So meticulous in everything she does. She just has those perfect lines that the judges love to see.
Career high for Delaney, 9.95. Last week, a 9.9. This is important. Remember, 6 up, 5 count. Delaney needs a big score.
If I'm Mike Rowe, I want Delaney Harkness in this spot right now. Excellent height on that Ginger release. Beautiful transition to the low bar on the bail handstand. Now a stick here would be big. She's good at it. Let's see if she can find the landing. Full in! I think that was a stuck landing, but man, did they need it. You see Mike Rowe, almost his shoulders going down after that routine. Huge height on the Ginger, keeps the toes pointed, the legs together the whole time, and then the dismount, the slightest little bit of leg separation going into it, but the landing was perfect. Mike is thrilled, and they are out of the woods on that one, keeping this a very interesting and exciting meet.
Had to have it. You knew it was going to happen, and well done by Delaney Harkness. It's a big hug from Gabby Stephen. This Michigan State team's together. This Michigan team is very much unified. And I also think there's a ton of mutual respect now between these two teams.
I think it's so exciting to have such success for both of these programs, to have them be here in this moment and compete for truly bragging rights in the regular season ahead of going to the Big Ten Championship and the remainder of postseason.
Delaney Harkness, a 9.925, second best of the season. So we are going to have an exhibition on bars. Kendall Abney for Michigan State, a freshman from Bellevue, Michigan.
Head coach Mike Rowe has been so impressed with her work in the gym. He calls her a workaholic, wants to be in the lineup so badly, and this routine is helping her prove that statement. Great job in that exhibition role. They changed this routine around to give her more consistency, and I just love seeing the development of the underclassmen and seeing Kendall hit in this environment in Chrysler.
So Michigan State's bars see a 9.9 season high to kind of set the pace. Delaney Harkness with that 9.925.
And that is the standard now as we flip-flop rotations. The judges know what Delaney just did, and they're going to keep that in mind as they see this Michigan team come over. But what an excellent way of coming back after that fall. And a respectable 49.325 from Michigan. Didn't quite crack into the 9.9 plus area that we're used to seeing from them, but great work on those 3 9.875s from Morrison, Wilson, and Brooks. And Gugino.
Reina too, yeah. Kind of got stuck on 9.875. Michigan State Spartans on the road feeling it. They'll move to the vault where they're second in the Big Ten. Michigan will move to the bars where they're second in the Big Ten. A delight to be in the Chrysler Center, home to the Michigan women's gymnastics team, and we got a tight one through one rotation. Michigan State with a slim lead.
They really needed that final routine from Delaney Harkness. Excellent job hitting in a pressure situation, and we didn't quite see what we usually do from Michigan on vault. They're really, if you're a judge, you're looking for the execution, the toes pointed, the legs together. Height and distance, how high and far away from the table are you? And of course, that coveted landing. Can you land and not move your feet, your arms, your body? Hold the landing position with your heels together for 1 second. Turn and salute the judge. That is exactly what the judges are looking for a perfect vault.
Well done from Olivia Karras.
Uneven bars, there's a lot going on, and you will hear me say it a lot. Perfect handstands, they must be perpendicular to the bar. Perfect 90-degree angle in your body position. Releases, the gymnast will let go and catch the bar again. Those releases need amplitude and good execution. And finally, the stuck dismount, showing control, landing perfectly, and ending your routine with an exclamation point for the judges.
See Scott Sherman, 28 seasons he's been here. Bev Plotke, 35 years. Michigan State, 12th in the country on the vault, 2nd in the Big Ten. Michigan, 13th in the country on the bars, also 2nd in the Big Ten. You see the lineup for Coach Rowe. Schulte back in there, a late scratch for the bars, but then it's Tucker Ortiz. She's a delight. Steven Smith and Kellerman. That is the lineup on the vault for Michigan State. They'll be led off by Skyla Schulte, who is really one of the faces of the Big Ten, if not the country.
And truly being in her presence today. She has such incredible energy. She's amazing. I just love to see how much passion she brings to this team, and she's a great fit for the leadoff. She's reliable, and she really knows how to find that landing to get everyone started on vault.
Take a look at the lineup on the bars for Bev Plotke. Michigan State is going to make some changes. It's going to be Vore, Wilson, Zabrowski, Morrison, Ballman, and Brooks. As you see Zabrowski, the freshman, in the middle of that lineup.
Great position for her in that third spot. It's a lot of pressure to be the only freshman in a lineup of upperclassmen. It's a pressure situation, but I love to see that she's in that position, delivering so far this season. Talked to Scott Sherman earlier today before the competition. He said they're really trying to get all of their depth in on bars. Kay Morgan really wanting to come in back in the lineup, and so love seeing how Halen has stepped up and done her job so far for this really talented Wolverine bar squad.
Gabby Ortiz out of the lineup. It'll be Michaela Tucker who will slide in, and she'll go down to the third spot. Nia Smith will come in as Skyla Schulte, the junior, ready to roll for Michigan State. Career high 9.925 last week, 9.85.
These teams are so close in scores. It's only one rotation. There's a lot of gymnastics still to be done, but Michigan State has to find these landings on vault. That is their big focus on this event. And that right there can help with it. Yurchenko full, the littlest bobble, so to speak. She didn't quite hold the perfect body position, but her feet truly did not move. Here is the judge's view. Opens it up there. The littlest hop there. I didn't catch that in the first replay, but great work by Skyla Schulte in the first spot. They needed that confidence booster.
Skyla Schulte, the junior from Bolingbrook, Illinois. The leadoff on the vault for Michigan. The leadoff will be J.C. Vore. For most of the season, it's been Morrison, Vore, Wilson. Today it's going to be Vore, Wilson, Zabrowski. So Vore, the junior, will get the leadoff spot. You've spent a lot of time talking about how important it is with the lineup changes. J.C. Vore, career high 9.925, last week 9.8.
Good first handstand from J.C. Going into her release move, a Tkachev, well done. Excellent handstand position. Scott Sherman said handstands is the goal today. Of course, we want to do good gymnastics, but handstands, we've given a lot of deductions away so far this season there. Let's see if we can get a stuck landing. Way to go, J.C. Vore. That was a new routine composition for her as of this year. Found what's worked best. Lovely height there on the Tkachev release move. A little bit soft in the knees on the catch, but hardly noticeable. And there is the dismount to the stuck landing. Holds that position. There's that 1 second before to turn and salute the judge. We are going back to back. Great gymnastics.
Vora, sophomore from Fishers, Indiana. Skylar Schulte with a 9.85 for 3 straight. Now it's Nia Smith who slides into the lineup for Michigan State.
Nia can go big on this vault. See if she can find that landing. Oh, a little bit of a hop backward. Looked like she was slightly piked down in her hips, which resulted in that backward movement. Couldn't quite find the perfect position, but way to hit with the last lineup change. There's that pike down, decent sized pike. The judges are looking for that in their execution and will, of course, deduct for the hop as well as the over rotation.
Well done by Nia, though, to be ready after the scratch of Gabby Ortiz. Here is Gabby Wilson. See, 9.875. I feel like the judges are stuck on 9.875. I thought Gore was solid.
I guess so. Nice job there from Gabby in her opening Jaeger release move. Beautiful job there on the bail handstand. Back up to the high bar. Excellent job on that handstand. Just what Scott Sherman was looking for. Let's see if we can get another stick. That's it. Sticky feet over on uneven bars for the Wolverines. The graduate student coming in big. Beautiful job in the air. Sees the ground. Holds it, and there is that 1 second hold position. That is the new rule this year. Judges need to see control before you turn and salute. Gabby Wilson, my goodness, great job.
Senior from Ypsilanti, Michigan, and Skyline High School. So here's Michaela Tucker, who will get an opportunity now for Michigan State, freshman from Fishers, Indiana.
Here's our first look at a blind landing from Kayla. I saw her have some trouble with that in the warm-up, but not here. Just a little step forward. Couldn't quite see how big of a step it was, but what great work from the freshman. A little bit of soft knees there, nothing too crazy. Sees the ground, and just the smallest forward movement with that left foot, shows control on the landing. Really great job as a freshman to have that 10-0 start value vault and to perform it like that in this type of critical situation in this arena.
Halen Zabrowski just saw Gabby Wilson tie her season high of a 9.9. Zabrowski's career high 9.8 last week. That's her score as well.
Head coach Bev Plotke said that Halen's done a great job stepping into the lineup. Short there on that second cast handstand after the release move, but great amplitude on the pack salto. That's a great handstand on the high bar. Just the dismount. The littlest shift and movement, but really coming into this lineup as a freshman, sandwiched in that third spot, surrounded by such veterans. It's a lot of pressure, and there she is delivering. Looked like she wanted to move the right foot, keeps it down. That's seasonal work. That's going through this a couple of times, realizing you can just settle and relax. You don't have to react to the ground. I love to see that improvement.
See a 9.925 from Tucker. Gabby Stephen next to go for Michigan State, the junior out of Illinois.
She has a career high of a 9.95, competes a vault that starts from a 9.95, so that is perfection. Oh, just a big step backward today. Couldn't quite get the perfect stuck landing like she did last weekend, but the execution in the air is lovely. She really knows how to not give the judges much to take. Beautiful job, opens it up, and just the shoulders weren't in the perfect position for the stuck landing. A little over rotated, but should still be a great score.
Naomi Morrison just saw Halen Zabrowski with a new career high of 9.825. Naomi Morrison next to go for Michigan with a career high of 9.9 last week and 9.825.
I love seeing Naomi a little bit later in the lineup. She's been the leadoff for this Wolverine squad many times. And playing around with the lineup, there's strategy to it. So it's great to give, oh no. Oh, she just couldn't get her hands over the bar. Take a look here from a different view. We could maybe see, looks like she got her hands on the bar, but just couldn't hold on, slipped off. So they are in a similar situation that Michigan State was, with a fall in the middle of the lineup, which means they want to drop this score. She continues the routine, short there on that handstand. Let's see if she can get the stuck landing. Good recovery from Naomi. Such a bummer to miss that Ginger release move. And now it's up to Carly Bauman and Sierra Brooks to hit, and hit big, because Michigan does not want to count a fall in a competition like this.
Especially with Nikki Smith, who's already had a 10 on the vault. 9.825 last week. Nikki Smith, Michigan State.
Nikki is performing a Yurchenko 1.5, a blind landing 10.0 start value. As you said, Dean, she has that career high perfect 10, so she knows how to get this landing. Like that, just like that. Nikki Smith with the stick. What a statement to make in enemy territory. Look at the height off the table, opens it up, sees the ground a little bit low in the landing, but up she finds that spot, holds the position. I don't know, that was pretty dang good. I don't know what the judges are going to do. I don't know if they're going to take a little deduction for the squatty position, but she did bring it up fast enough. Great work, Dean.
9.950 for Nikki. Carly Bauman, let's take a look at her last year at the championships, Olivia.
9.95 on this routine for Carly. So critical. She has textbook form, and anyone in the NCAA will agree with that. Everything she does on uneven bars is truly done to perfection.
And 9.95 remains her career high. Last week, a 9.825, and it was Carly who kind of welcomed us all into the Big Ten Network and the Chrysler Center to start the show.
She's so great. I love seeing her in this leadership role. Beautiful job. That is absolutely textbook work on the connection. She does a blind landing on this dismount, a little more difficult. The double front, small step backward, but extra pressure on the senior with that fall from Naomi Morrison right before her. So ultimately, she just needed to stay on the bar. Such nice technique there. See the open a little early. Her shoulders were just back, which resulted in the smallest step backward, but a hit from Carly Bauman.
Sage Kellerman with a 10 in Las Vegas. Let's take a look.
Head coach Mike Rose said, "We were so shocked when the score came up, but she deserves it." Beautiful job on the handspring front pike half, sees the ground, holds the landing, and he said the team, everyone was beside themselves happy for Sage. And I saw her drill one in the 4-minute touch. If she could do that exact vault, the 1-2 punch from Nikki Smith to Sage Kellerman could be remarkable. New entry, front handspring, front pike, oh my gosh!
That might be.
I don't know. I mean, after the 9.95 from Nikki Smith, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what was wrong with it. It was exactly what we saw in Las Vegas. Huge height off the table, opens it up, sees the arms there, finds the landing. That's exactly what she did in the 4-minute touch. Mike Rowe is beside himself, excited for Sage.
She got a 10. We said the 10 watch was on, and Kellerman with a 10. Wow. Michigan State means business here in Ann Arbor.
I mean, my goodness. If that wasn't a 10, I would have thrown in my many years of watching NCAA gymnastics.
And you just saw both of them. You saw the one in Las Vegas, and you saw the one right in front of us.
Bravo.
So let's see if Sierra Brooks can get one as well, the senior.
Beautiful piked Jaeger there. Sierra is such a technician. Nice job on the bail handstand, hitting all of these perfect positions. Beautiful job on the high bar. A stick here would be massive. Yeah!
That could be. She stuck it, didn't she? Was there a hop
That
there
was
on?
a stick.
Yeah.
From one piece of excellent gymnastics to another, Sierra Brooks says,
Bring
if
it.
you can do a 10, if you can get a 10, I can get a 10. What's wrong with that? Such a hard dismount. Double layout with a full twist. Finds the landing. Just the perfect position. The flare out to see the ground. The hold there. The yes, she says right there as she lands. Wow. My heart is racing.
Sierra Brooks, as we await her score. Boy, you think about Maya Hooten. We talked about it with Gertis. I mean, some of these super seniors, they look like they're get younger every year. It's amazing to me.
Unfinished business. You can see it. You can tell from their aura that there is unfinished business. They know they came back for a reason. That's awesome.
So 9.95 for Sierra Brooks, 8.9950.
And it looks like we missed the bar blues for both of these teams. Could have been a tricky situation. Both teams figured out how to not count a fall. That's massive.
Yeah, that is. Good point. Season high for Sierra Brooks, who, what do I know, Olivia Karras? I thought that was a 10. That was a beautiful stuck landing.
It was pretty dang good. McKaylee Carr, the graduate senior in the exhibition spot. Good work on that Maloney bail. Head coach Bev Plotke said she has just so much grateful energy in her for being here, for having the opportunity to compete. An excellent job on the double layout dismount from McKaylee Marr. Beautiful work. I saw her have some trouble there in the warm-up, but really found that landing in Chrysler as a fifth year. Those are the memories that you keep forever. Been there, done that. It's pretty awesome.
Transfer from Penn with a big hug there from Scott Sherman. We are headed to the third rotation in a battle of the top 13s in the country, Michigan and Michigan State. Women's gymnastics on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Alumni weekend in Michigan. That's Kylie Botterman, one of the all-time greats. There's Olivia Karras. What a superstar for Michigan. Lexi Funk, right? Hanging out with
Emma McLean.
Emma McLean hanging out with Olivia Karras.
Joanna Sampson, one of the best Michigan athletes ever. Seeing her this weekend's been so much fun. And Wendy Fallon, she's the best. Love seeing all these athletes here. Love seeing Wendy there on the left. She's so great.
One of the big-time deputies with the Big Ten Conference as well. Wendy Wilkinson, when she was here, all under the great Bev Plotke. 35 years, which is our natural pick for State Farm State of Success. 27 Big Ten championships, 104 individual champs. Has an NCAA championship not that long ago. Look at those regional appearances. Bev Plotke truly is a living legend.
She is actually, it's so cool to say that I was coached by her because she truly is legendary. I mean, in the Big Ten, in the nation, she has a footprint for a reason because she's built this empire here. And walking by all of the Big Ten trophies, the national championship trophy today on the floor, it just reminds you of everything that she's done, that the program has done. It's, wow, incredible.
Chrysler Center, hard to find an open seat here for this matchup between Michigan State and Michigan. folks, Sunday afternoon. Hey, Friday, you can stream women's gymnastics live on Big Ten Plus when the Spartans host Illinois. Then Saturday, see the Wolverines compete against Minnesota. There's no plus like home. Download the Big Ten Plus and subscribe right now. This place is on fire. Chrysler Center is on fire. And a lot of these women are on fire. What are the judges looking for on the balance beam?
Over 2 balance beam. There are a lot of spots to look at, but mainly 180-degree split, showing the judges to hit that perfect position. Acro series, 2 acro things connected, difficulty in connections to get the start value, and of course, that stuck landing. Floor exercise is a party. You need to control your lunge out of tumbling. You have to have height and amplitude on every skill you do, and the 180-degree split. If it is not perfect split, they will deduct. So really important to look at these jumps. A lot of people miss those when they're watching the event and don't understand the score. Might be because of jumps, so keep your eyes out for those.
Thank you, Olivia. Michigan State, the 98.95. Michigan 98.725. This is the lineup on the beam for Bev Plotke, Mulligan, Gugino, Wilson, Vore, Ballman, and Brooks. Michigan first in the Big Ten on the beam, 9th in the country.
This is an athlete I am very impressed by. Jenna Mulligan comes in her freshman year, can't really get her footing on where she can contribute, and then comes into the gym this summer and completely transforms mentally, physically as an athlete, and is now the leadoff on balance beam. Arguably the hardest spot to be in any of the 24 places in this competition, and has been great for Bev Plotke and the Wolverines.
Career high of 9.9.
Her opening skill there. Cat leap, front aerial, 2 back handspring. That is the acro series element. Jenna did a great job of keeping movement through her arms to show perfect control in the connection. Jump connection, beach, oh no. Oh gosh. She's been so solid for Michigan, and unfortunately down on her jump combination. That means that she will not get the bonus for the jump as well, and will garner a deduction on the fall. That is very difficult in the first spot. Finishing up the routine, back handspring, tucked 1.5. The Wolverines have some work to do. As we said, 6 athletes compete, 5 scores count. They need to drop that score. She did come back and finish the routine very well. There's that tuck 1.5. Step forward on the landing, but tension just grew a little bit in this building.
Spartans moved to the floor, this after a 49.575, which ties their program best on the vault. It's Ellie Beaufait with a career high of 9.9.
Big opening pass for Elle, front double full. Good work there, keeping her composure on the landing. Floor leadoff performer is such a great position because she can set the tone.
Sophomore from Columbus, Michigan.
Second pass, it's her connection pass. 1.5 to front layout, beautiful job. That was a great look at what a textbook lunge out of your pass, controlled lunge looks like. Final pass, position, very well done in the opening floor routine for the Spartans. Connection pass is very important. You have to connect to acro elements, much like on balance beam. There's that lunge out of it, good work. And the final piece of gymnastics in the routine, the 1.5 to a controlled lunge. Well done.
So high fives for Ellie. Next to go on the beam for Michigan is Reina Gugino. Still waiting for the score from Jenna Mulligan. I can tell you, Reina, just a couple years ago, was second team All Big Ten, and of course has been part of Big Ten championship teams. Faye, a 9.0, which ties her career high on the floor. Reina, you can see the concentration as she gets ready to go. Career high 9.875 that she scored last week. Take it away, Liv.
This is potentially a competition-changing routine. It is up to Reina to bring the energy and the confidence back to this Michigan squad. Beautiful full turn there to start the routine. Here's her acro series back handspring layout step out. Well done. Perfectly squared over the beam.
Look at score, not terrible, all things considered, at 9.275.
Good job staying on the beam there on that straddle dump to a straddle half. It's the same skill that Jenna Mulligan unfortunately fell off the balance beam on. Really nice work, lots of grit there in staying on the beam when she knows they need it. Beautiful side summy. Difficult skill landing sideways on the balance beam. Here's the dismount. They really could use a stuck landing here. Back handspring 1.5. Oh, and that step forward. 2 decent sized deductions in that routine. The straddle half and the landing, but this was rock solid. Side summy, sees the balance beam in the perfect place. And the dismount, lots of amplitude there, but that is likely a 10th step forward. So not going to be that 9.875 we saw from her last weekend, but again, she stayed on the balance beam, and man, did they need that.
Indeed. Michaela Tucker, career high 9.875 last week, 9.85.
And Kayla is one of those athletes that has long lines. Her legs are beautiful. Front 1.5 to layout step out. Her connection pass floats in the air in that layout step out.
Freshman from Fishers, Indiana. They're starting to grow on trees for Mike Rowe in Michigan State here. Reina, by the way, a 9.75 on the beam for Michigan.
This Michigan State team does such an excellent job of bringing their own energy on floor exercise. They are only 1 hour away in East Lansing. They have a great crowd here celebrating them, but bringing your own energy on floor is very difficult. My goodness, great work on that front double twist. So hard to do at the end of the routine. Takes lots of conditioning and strength, and she did it as well as I've seen. This is rated an E in the code of points, which is the most difficult front double full to that controlled lunge for the fantastic freshman, Kayla Tucker.
She knew it too.
She did, she absolutely did.
Gabby Wilson next to go on the beam for the Michigan Wolverines. Career high 9.975 last week, 9.775. Gabby Wilson.
See her talking herself through this balance beam routine. A lot of beam is mental, and using your mental cues, saying the same things in competition that you do in the gym is crucial. Shaky there on that back handspring layout series. Great job staying on the beam.
Tucker with a 9-9, back-to-back 9-9s for Michigan State on the floor. It's a career high for Tucker.
Gabby settling in here. Incredibly difficult standing switch leap, 2 jumps in a row to fulfill her 180-degree leap requirement. Beautiful full turn. Now this is very difficult dismount, a round off double tuck. See if she can get that landing. Little bit of a step diagonally, not a perfect routine. They seem just a little shaken up over on balance beam after the fall in the leadoff by Jenna Mulligan, but the difficulty in that dismount is incredible. You can see on her face she's not perfectly thrilled, but she stayed on. She did her job settling in.
Gabby Stephen, as we mentioned earlier, back-to-back 9-9s. Gabby Stephen next to go. Career high 9.975 last week, 9.85. Get ready for Gabby Stephen.
Opening pass for Gabby. Connection pass front through to a double pike. Little bounce there on the landing into the lunge. Something I love about this Michigan State lineup is how they all perform. Their styles are all so different, yet it works beautifully in these 6 spots. Gabby will only compete 2 passes as long as both tumbling passes fulfill your difficulty and connection requirements. You can only do 2 passes, but she finishes out with a difficult one. Front double pull, little slide backward there. Couldn't quite land with as much control as her teammate prior, but another great routine from the Spartans. So difficult to land forwards at the end when you're tired, your legs have been through it in this routine. You see that slide there, but she really does well at finding control, settling down before reacting and continuing the routine.
Next on the beam for Michigan.
Next on the beam, JC Vore, career high 9.925. Last week a 9.825.
Bev Plotke saying that JC has really learned a lot about leadership and having a voice on this team. She's done a great job of stepping up and being vocal when she needs to be. Back handspring layout step out series, very well done.
Gabby Stephen with a 9.875 on the floor for the Spartans.
Nice full turn from JC. Balance beam is in itself very mental, but with all of these people in the arena, you have to stay in your emotional and mental bubble, and JC's doing well so far with that. Nice job on that jump connection. Looked like she missed the connection between the first jump and the second, and was smart to add that 3rd jump to assure there was a jump connection made. See if she can get the dismount, round off 1.5 twist. There it is. First step landing of the day on beam for the Wolverines. JC Vore coming in clutch when they needed her. Tiniest bit off center on her dismount as we see from this view. A reminder, the judges are sitting on the side. So they see it a little differently, but she does a great job of still landing parallel to the balance beam.
I was going to ask you, Olivia, you feel like Vore, Bauman, and Brooks are going to bring Michigan back. That's why Michigan's #1 on the beam.
They really need it at this point.
So here's Delaney Harkness, career high 9.95. She hit it last week.
Opening pass for Delaney, very difficult. Half in, half out. Good job. So much difficulty in that opening pass. A little over-rotated, but nothing major.
For Vore. That's Vore's score on the beam. Ties her career high.
Good job on that leap combination. Just the slightest bit off on the wolf full landing. This is something the judges are looking for, is where the athlete starts the jump and finishes the turning jump. Final pass for Delaney Harkness. Her combination pass front through to a double tuck. That's the best landing. Well done. Controlled lunge backward, and another incredible floor routine for Michigan State.
Senior from Leslie, Michigan.
Difficult connection here, adding the front tuck, stepping out into the double tuck. Sees the ground and just perfect control in the lunge. It might look like a step, but the athletes are allowed to do that lunge backward.
That was spectacular.
It was great. It was great.
Carly Bauman next to go on the beam for the Michigan Wolverines. She is up and ready with a career high of 9.925.
Had the pleasure of going to practice on Friday with many of the other alums in town and watching Carly Bauman do beam in practice. It's a carbon copy. I mean, it was so cool to see her just go back to back to back of excellent skills like that one. Beautiful back handspring layout, step out.
Harkness with a 9.875 on the floor for Michigan State.
Her jump combination, Sisson to a switch half, very difficult jump, connected to a beat jump. Really good pace in this routine. She's taking her time. So hard, side summy with straight legs. She makes that look very easy.
Carly, second team All Big Ten last year.
Stuck landing on this dismount would be big. This routine has been excellent. It's a gainer pike. Smallest scoot backward, not a perfect stick, but again, the Wolverines are recovering from that fall in the first spot. Perfectly straight legs, back handspring layout, step out, lifts the arms, and excellent control on the landing. Gainer pike dismount, small scooch backward, but Carly Bauman's a gamer. They needed that.
Gamer indeed.
Michigan State,
Nikki Smith next on the floor. You got some news on Nikki Smith.
I just love her so much, but the perfect 10 last weekend at home, first perfect 10 on floor in Michigan State history. Little under rotated there. She took a step, but it it was forward, which shows the judges in a backward moving skill. A lunge forward is the slightest under rotation, so they are keeping their eyes on that.
Balma with a giant 9.950 from Michigan.
Second pass for Nikki Smith, 1.5. Front layout, beautiful control on the landing.
It's a career high for Ballman. Once again, Nikki Smith, the only 10 on the floor in Michigan State history, and she's one of 5 to get it done on the vault.
Gearing up for her final pass here.
She's the complete package, right?
She is. She absolutely is. She was last year as a freshman, back as a sophomore, having more experience under her belt.
Wow.
Perfectly stuck double tuck. She just knows where she is. It's so impressive. And even last year as a freshman, coming in, hitting the ground running, and is only improving with more reps in competition under her belt. There's that final pass, double tuck, sees the ground, doesn't even need to take the lunge, puts those heels together to show control. Well done.
Smoke that. Sierra Brooks, your all-around leader at 19.825. That was after 2 rotations, obviously, as she gets ready to go now. Nikki Smith, 9.875.
Sierra Brooks opening up this routine with a triple series, back handspring, layout, step out. Little balance check there. Nothing major, but the littlest bobble.
Saw her numbers 2nd in the Big Ten, 5th overall with a career high of 9.975 for Sierra Brooks.
Beautiful switch leap to beat jump, fulfilling her jump connection. Full turn. Each athlete is required to repeat a full turn or a turn on beam. Her acro skill, a front toss, a little bit off there. She just looks a little nervous. Just so uncharacteristic for Sierra. She's normally just such a rock solid beam worker, but it's a lot of pressure. She's a human being. But a great dismount, back handspring, double twist. Littlest scoot backward, but they did remove that fall from Jenna Mulligan in the first spot with that hit by Sierra Brooks, which ultimately is the most important part. Here's the front toss, has it a little off, but brings it right back for the smallest deduction. And the dismount, back handspring to a difficult double twist and a small scoot backward. But removing that fall was the goal in that moment. That was the goal.
Olivia, when I see somebody hold it like that, I think strength. Sierra Brooks is strength.
Absolutely.
Here's Skylar Schulte, a showstopper for Michigan State. The anchor for Mike Rowe on the floor with a career high of 9.975. I can't tell you Sierra Brooks with a 9.8.
Opening pass for Skyla. Full in. See that mat there? Athletes are allowed to have that mat for extra padding. It's a long season and there's a lot of tumbling to be done. So the extra padding is always nice to have for those ankles.
10th in the Big Ten. Only a junior, so we still have a lot more. Skylar Schulte.
Leap series switch half to a straddle full. Good work finishing that full twisting leap all the way around. for Skyla. Front through to a double tuck. Beautiful landing. This Michigan State lineup really went lights out on floor. Nice job. Always so much fun on floor exercise.
So much fun, period.
Yes, head coach Mike Rose said that last week after Nikki gets the 10 in the 5th spot, Skyla was like, let's just have a party in this final routine, and that's exactly what she is, a party and a woman. But look at that, front through, double tuck. That is a perfect controlled lunge. Wow, bravo.
Yeah, that last pass was clean. Exhibition for Michigan. Nice opportunity to see Kaylee Boozer, who competed she's a 3-time regional beam champion and a 2-time regional floor champion. 9950 for Schulte. Back to back for Michigan State 9950s.
Nice full turn for Kaylee. This is a great opportunity, not to mention getting the competition experience, but doing it in Chrysler with all of these fans here against your Big Ten opponent. Beautiful triple series, 2 back handsprings to a layout step out. Beautiful leap, switch leap to a straddle quarter. Nice front aerial, a little off there, and really kept her core tight to minimize the deduction as much as possible. Just the dismount here for the freshman. Round off 1.5 twist. Step backwards, so a little under-rotated, but for her first routine in a competition setting on balance beam, I'd say that's a win.
Yeah, in front of a packed house as well. What an environment. Nia Smith, exhibition, Michigan State. Again, this won't count for their team scores, but the 5th-year senior, the sister to Nikki Smith from West Bloomfield, Michigan.
Nia has always been a great floor performer. This Michigan State team just has so much depth that sometimes an athlete who has been a frequent in the lineup still having the opportunity in the exhibition to prove herself that she deserves a spot in the lineup.
There's been a lot of talk about how proud she is of her sister as well.
Last year at the Big Ten Championship, I said to her, how much fun is it competing with your sister? As the two of them were just standing next to each other. She goes, it's so fun, I'm coming back for a 5th year.
Remember, Grandma loves it too.
Yes, she does.
This is exhibition. We can tell you Michigan State with a 49.5 on the floor ties their 9th best in program history. Already tied their best ever score on the vault in Michigan State, and because of that they will have a slim lead through 3 rotations.
Final pass here for Nia, front through to double tuck. Quite a statement for the 5th-year senior to say, put me in, coach, I'm ready to go. Good job, big hugs from her sister Nikki. Nice work.
So there's that 49.5, 9th best overall score in the history of Michigan State on the floor. And part of the reason why through 3 rotations they're sitting at 148.45 Michigan score on the beam as they get ready to move over to the floor. Well, you said it best. They forgot about Jenna Mulligan, and they got it done.
And you have to do that. These scores aren't exactly what Michigan wanted on balance beam, but it's much better than counting that 9.25 in the first spot. So great job from this team on balance beam, and now it's time for a floor party.
We head to the final rotation where Michigan State will be on the beam. Skyla Schulte with a 9.95 for Michigan State. And Carly Ballman with that same score. big-time meet. Both teams number 13, and it's part of Alumni Weekend. And this is just incredible right here, Olivia.
What fun to be with all of the amazing alums. Everyone from Abbey High School, who is just such a well-known name. Natalie Wojcik, all the way to some of the best alums out there. Kylie Botterman, Deb Berman, all of these incredible women who have helped contribute to the legacy of Michigan gymnastics, and having the opportunity to take a photo all together with all of the Big Ten trophies, the national championship trophy. That's what it's all about right there. And it was a very empowering moment. I'm thrilled to be here and able to be here for it.
And I got to give Bev Blocky credit. It looked like she was doing it all by herself, setting up these trophies as we got here early.
She is so proud of this and just showing what this group of alums has done. She says all the time, I remember when I won the national championship and all I thought about was this team and the women who all came before them. And I think that is such a testament to Bev, to the program that she created, grassroots created, as a young 24-year-old woman who came into this role as a head coach 35 years ago, and now to be here with all of these alums coming back, wanting to celebrate the team and the achievements. It's a special thing to be a part of.
There's Olivia Karras beforehand as they all came out. And Olivia, you have heard it before. It is indeed great to be a Michigan Wolverine right now.
Yes, it is.
There's Bev Blocky as Michigan State will be on the beam. The Wolverines will be on the floor. They are second in the Big Ten, 9th in the country. Meanwhile, Michigan State, 6th in the Big Ten on the beam, 23rd in the country. You see the scores right there, 148.45. Michigan at 147.87.
But remember, Michigan State is going to balance beam. Gianna Khalifi leading off. She's been so solid for this team. We got to look at Gabby Ortiz, the freshman. Mike Rowe just says she is such a doll. So much fun to have on the team. And of course, the Schulte Garcia Steven 4-5-6 punch at the end. But it's balance beam. Anything can happen.
There's the lineup on the floor for Bev Blocky. Ballman, Mulligan, Gugino, Morrison, Brooks, and Wilson. Final instruction there from Bev Blocky. Nicole Curler-Jones, now in her 7th season as associate head coach, 14th overall at Michigan State.
This is what we talk about all the time, and knowing Bev, I know Nicole, they're thinking in their head that the meet's not over yet. Michigan State with the lead right now. They go to balance beam. Michigan a little bit behind, going to floor exercise at home with a packed house. I mean, the meet's not over, but there's a lot of work still for Michigan State to do on beam, really stay in their moment. And Michigan, they can put on a show over on floor exercise.
They can indeed. Oh, check that out. That's Carol Hutchins, and then the new softball coach, Bonnie Fole, the new head coach of the Michigan softball team. I was just going to get ready to say that's amazing that they showed Hutch, because really, you know, she has such a prominence here, but really now Bev Blocky is the new sort of Marshal of Michigan.
It was always so fun when I was competing and Hutch would show up in the gym. She just has that energy that's similar to Bev. Gianna Khalifi on beam as the leadoff performer for Michigan State. Beautiful full turn there to start her routine. Triple series back handspring, layout, step out. Absolutely rock solid.
Gianna with a career high of 9.925.
Beautiful switch leap to tuck, full, very difficult jump. A full 360-degree turn. Just the dismount here for Gianna. Cartwheel gainer full to a stuck landing. They are making a statement in this competition. Truly looking absolutely rock solid, confident in their gymnastics. Nothing to lose is how I am feeling the energy from this team. This triple series set the tone of the routine. Perfect landing position in the dismount, finding that stuck landing position. The team loving it. She's loving it. Love to see that emotion on her face. Great work.
Carly Ballman on the floor, career high 9.925 last week, 9.9. Buckle up for Carly Ballman.
Head coach Bev Plocky saying our floor team is incredible. They're so talented. Full roster of seniors and fifth years in this lineup. Carly opening it up with a front double twist. Beautiful control.
And a big score from Carly as Khalifi tied her career high with a 9.925 for Michigan State.
Good control on those jumps, a little bit off on the second wolf full. She did a great job of minimizing the deduction. Final pass from Carly Bauman. It's her combination pass, a 1.5 front layout. That's layout rising above the 1.5. That's exactly what the judges are looking for.
Career best 9.925 on the floor against Stanford.
Beautiful job by Carly Bauman in front of this packed house. That is definitely what Michigan wanted to start this rotation, but this is excellent. 1.5. The height on the front layout is gorgeous, and a controlled lunge forward is exactly what the judges are looking for a zero deduction landing.
Just a wonderful atmosphere here at the Chrysler Center. Michaela Tucker next to go for Michigan State. A 9.775 career high. She hit it last week, Olivia.
Good work on her series. Front and aerial to a back handspring. Kept her arms moving, which is what the judges are looking for a perfect connection.
Ballman matching Khalifi's score on the beam with a 9.925.
Difficult jump combination there. Beat jump to a split 3/4, landing sideways on the balance beam. Gorgeous cat leap to a side aerial. She has such great control, long lines. Just the dismount for Kayla. Back handspring, gainer full to a stuck landing. She will certainly slash that 9.775 career high. That was lovely. Combination into the dismount, back handspring, gets the height on the gainer full, and a little bit of a pike down from my vision here. I can see, but wow, 2 for 2 for Michigan State.
Now on the floor for Michigan.
Back to the floor we go. Jenna Mulligan. You see the 9.925 from Ballman. Jenna, what a story, earning a scholarship for her final season.
She's a great great opportunity for Jenna to come back after that uncharacteristic fall on balance beam. Her first pass, combination pass, front through to a double tuck. Well done, beautiful control on the landing. Nice jump combination there. Loving the different styles of dance in these floor exercises. Judges are not judging on dance and performance, but at the end of the day, you want to go out there and have fun, compete and feel confident, and the dance is meant to provide confidence and energy to you as you're on floor exercise. Double pike, littlest bit of a bounce back, but finds the lunge position, and a great recovery from that fall on balance beam. So important for her confidence moving forward throughout the season. The season is nowhere near over, so that is so important to have that confidence recovery. But this first pass has so much amplitude. Big front through to a double tuck. It doesn't even need the lunge, finds that landing, the littlest shift on her right foot, but finishes it off with a big double pike to that controlled lunge position.
After Khalifi and Ballman shared scores, Tucker in with a 9-9. We'll wait and see what Mulligan has as Michigan tries to crawl back into this on the final rotation. Gabby Ortiz, we've been waiting to see Gabby Ortiz from Michigan State. She's up on the bar for the Spartans.
She is such a joy. Head coach Mike Rowe could not say more wonderful things about her.
Career high 9.875 last week, a 9.825 for Gabby.
It's her acrobatic series, back handspring layout, step out. Beautiful, rock solid. See her smile after that series. I always felt that same relief after the series. Just get it done.
Michigan has picked up 2.5 as Mulligan back-to-back following Ballman with a 9.925. Mulligan tying her career high.
Beautiful beat jump to front toss from Gabby. She really doesn't look like a freshman up there. Looks so calm and confident. Back handspring 1.5 to a near stuck. I saw a little bit of movement on that landing position, but I love to see the development of these freshmen. Think about Nikki Smith, you think about Skyla Schulte. They were all freshmen once, and seeing them gain confidence and compete in these areas. Beautiful job. What a great routine. And I just love to see how happy she is. You can tell that she's just so thrilled to be able to go out there and nail that routine in this type of competition.
Just a tiny little hop, right?
Very small. Small little hop there on the landing.
All right, here's Reina Gugino. Mom and dad, front row.
And her boyfriend, the great Paul Judah, the Michigan men's gymnastics team.
And USA.
Yep.
Back-to-back 9.9s for Michigan State on the beam. Reina with the career high of 9.925.
Front layout, step out into a double pike. Perfect control on that landing.
4 feet 11 of firepower.
And truly one of the most lovely people I've ever met. Jump combination, switch side, straddle full. Great work on getting that jump all the way around. Final pass for Reina. She does a front layout into a Rudy. Bravo! Beautiful job from Reina Gugino, who Bev Plotke says has an absolute heart of gold, loves this team so dearly. And a wonderful routine. Loving this addition this year with that pass, a front layout into a double pike, a little bit of soft knees in the double pike position, but control on both of these landings. Good work on staying tight in her core to minimize any deduction on that pass.
Good job by Reyna. Skyla Schulte ready to go for Michigan State. Career high 9.95 last week, 9.9. Still a lot of work to do, but the last road win for Michigan State at Michigan was February 2nd, 1990, as you see the numbers on Schulte.
Score in for Reyna Gugino, a 9.875. Good control there by Skyla on that difficult jump connection.
Livia, I gotta know, right now, Michigan has pulled back to .575 away. Did the teams know that here?
Yes,
okay.
You definitely know. It's pasted right there on the Jumbotron, hard to miss. But in this moment, they're not thinking about that. They're just thinking about doing their best gymnastics in the moment that counts, that back handspring layout step out, doing just that for Skyla. Just the dismount, switch leap, gainer full to a stuck landing. The Spartans are one more beam routine away. That would make 5 hits to likely sealing the deal here. Skyla Schulte, such a gamer here. Switch leap, gainer full. To that stuck landing, holding that position right there with the heels together. Nice job.
Skyla is 6th in the Big Ten, 24th in the country. Naomi Morrison is 12th in the Big Ten, 4th to go for Bev Plotke on the floor. Naomi Morrison following up Gugino's 9.875.
Opening pass for Naomi. Very difficult, half in, half out. Well done. Nice control on that lunge.
Naomi needs a monster score as Skyla Schulte ties her career high of 9.95 for Michigan State.
Gorgeous leaps. Naomi has always done such a great job of having that second jump just rise.
Last week, Naomi with a 9.925, her best ever score, 9.975.
Final pass for Naomi Morrison. Combination pass. Front through to a double tuck. Beautiful job finding that landing. And Michigan is truly putting on a show on floor exercise. Great job by Naomi Morrison. You know, being in this arena, I'm feeling the energy, and it never gets old competing a floor routine at Chrysler in front of a home crowd. Doing it the way Naomi just did, it stays with you for a long time, I can tell you that. Excellent height on the double tuck, finds the landing, and there's that controlled lunge backward to finish her day off.
She's going to have a big score. Meanwhile, we head back to the beam for Bailey Garcia, where we can tell you that all Michigan State athletes on the beam have either set or tied their career high. Is that good?
Wow. Somewhat. Talk about with this much pressure as well, doing that on beam. Wow.
Morrison with a wonderful score of 9.95. I thought Morrison was wonderful for Michigan.
Couldn't agree more. So acrobatic series back handspring layout, step out for Bailey.
Bailey's career high 9.95. Last week a 9.775 for for the senior from Florida.
Front aerial to a split jump. Dynamic jump there, perfect split position. Beautiful work. Bailey has gorgeous lines.
She saw Khalifi tie her career high of 9.925. Schulte tie her career high, same score. Ortiz tie it with a 9.9.
Back handspring gainer full to a stuck landing. Michigan State really making quite a statement in this competition. Final look at that dismount. Back handspring gainer full. The team going crazy behind her. And Mike Rowe is thrilled.
Can you believe that prior to Garcia, Michigan State on the beam threw 4, 39.675. Michigan threw 4, 39.675.
Wow.
It's amazing. Sierra Brooks on the floor. You probably know she's had a 10 on the floor before. Last week a 9.925.
Sierra is truly the full package. Incredible across the board on every event. See her parents right there cheering her on. Opening pass, full twisting double tuck. Her technique just gets better every time. Absolutely incredible.
You know she's going to bring it home. She'll need to, because Garcia with a 9.925, that's her season high. So
wow.
Everybody from Michigan State.
Wow.
Sierra Brooks third in the Big Ten, ninth in the NCAA. She's what I call a start-to-finish performer.
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely. Start to finish, she just knows what to do. She's very meticulous. She has all the experience under her belt. Just that final pass, front through to a double tuck. That was as good as I've seen her do it. Sierra Brooks, the crowd is up on their feet, knowing they don't have many more opportunities to see Sierra Brooks compete at home. See Bev Plotke flashing the perfect 10 for that floor routine. But this pass has just gotten technically so much better. It was never bad, but the open body position in the tuck is remarkable. And then this last pass, the front through double tuck, see her set beautifully. And I love when Sierra smiles. Bev Plotke going nuts. Loving that, seeing her parents. Just love to see them in the crowd. Her mom taking a deep breath. They're just two of my favorite people. And a 9.95 in for Sierra Brooks. Bravo.
So here we go to the anchor, Gabby Stephen. On the beam, what a performance from Michigan State on the beam. Gabby Stephen, career high 9.95. Michigan trails by .550.
Gorgeous front aerial to 2 feet. Truly one of the hardest skills on balance beam. Gabby makes it look very easy. Nice full turn.
If she delivers, it'll be wild to see what score gets dropped for Michigan State.
I know. I mean, talk about bringing your A game when you really need it here. Back handspring, layout, step out. Little hesitation there, works through it in her dance. Such a veteran move to know. You just have to keep moving through it. Don't show the judge a moment of wobble. Nice job on that straddle half jump. Watch the dismount, round off, double twist to a stuck landing, holding it on her toes. Talk about strength. I mean, on her toes, holding that landing for 1 second to show the control before turning to salute the judge. That is pure athleticism right there, holding on to it. And the height on that dismount is excellent. And you see that little smirk there from Gabby, Steven, and Mike Rose. Mike Rowe just gets more and more excited each time we get a look at him. His energy is unmatched.
So Gabby Wilson, the anchor. I think she might need a 10 for Michigan to win this. Here goes Gabby Wilson. Look at these big-time scores from Michigan as well on the floor.
A floor lineup. But I know that many people in this building came to this competition for this 90-second routine. Gabby Wilson knows how to put on a show.
She's had a career high of a 10. That's kind of what they need.
Wow. Perfect control there on the lunge. This routine has so much power and intention behind it. Those leaps are beyond gorgeous. Final pass for Gabby Wilson. Front layout to a front 1.5 twist. That's a 10. I'm saying it right now. It's absolutely perfect. And she knows it.
They may have tied things up. We'll wait and see.
Wow. That was incredible. That performance just emulates power, strength.
Wow.
Incredible. And seeing the ground like that, finding the landing, the core strength she has to perform that skill the way she does, rising here on the Rudy, finding the ground, seeing that smile. Gabby Wilson, you are incredible.
4-time All-American, 4-time first-team All-Big Ten, 2-time Big Ten champion on the vault. We still have some exhibitions as we figure everything out. Delaney Harkness will get a chance to show Mike Rowe what she can do on the beam. Gabby Wilson got a 10.
No way.
Yes way. You said it.
There it is. The arena goes nuts for Gabby Wilson's perfect 10 on floor exercise as Delaney Harkness flowing through this routine. It's an exhibition routine. It does not count. But my gosh, her third 10 of her career in front of this packed Chrysler Arena. Wow. If that wasn't a 10, I would have been beside myself. So thank you, judges, but wow.
Yeah, take that wow and multiply it.
Beautiful work here by Delaney. Talk about a pressure set, knowing all of the excitement going on. But wow, I mean, so much skill here to stay focused. Delaney Harkness really delivering. So rock solid for Michigan State. They have incredible depth on this team that any athlete could go up on any given day and absolutely rock a competition routine. That is a wonderful problem, yet a difficult problem to have.
Michigan with an exhibition from Kaylee Boozer. Unofficially, Michigan State in with a 198.05.
Wow.
So we think Michigan Sate has done it again, something that they couldn't do since 2007. Finally did it last year. As you mentioned, lost to Michigan in the Big Ten Championships, but then to start the season, they were in the same group out in Vegas and beat Michigan, and I think they may have done it again.
When it comes to these types of rivalries, it comes to making the conference as great as it can be. You know, I'm sitting here, a Michigan alum, at this competition right now with all of my friends sitting in the stands, and I know the importance of this for Michigan State, to them, to the conference, to the sport. That's what matters in this moment. Opening pass here from Kaylee. Great experience for her here. Oh no. Fall there on that opening pass. Unfortunately, she's such a beautiful athlete, but short on that pass, which resulted in her putting her hands down.
Kaylee Boozer.
Even though she had a fall on that first pass, it's really important to see how you can recover in the last pass. You never know what routine needs to count one day. Good job on that connection. 1.5 to front layout. And great experience for this freshman as she moves forward in her career at Michigan.
Well done, Kaylee, right after watching Gabby Wilson get yet another 10. But we do believe it's worth mentioning that the great Olivia Karras was born in '97. The last time Michigan State had a road win at Michigan was February 2nd, 1990.
Wow.
And a tri-meet with Iowa, 1990.
There it is. Michigan State 198.05 to Michigan's 197.625.
Congratulations to both teams, quite frankly. And here's the thing, we talked about seeing some 10s. We saw a couple of them, and we saw a tight one with Michigan State getting a narrow win over Michigan. We'll be back to wrap it up. Since 1990 on the road, gets a win over the Michigan Wolverines, and we saw a couple 10s, including a 10 from Sage Kellerman. Olivia Karras, break down the 10 from Sage.
Well, we saw her receive a 10 in the first meet of the season. I'm thinking to myself, this is now going to be a namesake. We're going to see this happen a couple of other times, and here she comes out in enemy territory. Perfect 10, one of the best front handspring front pike halves I've ever seen, and it is from this wonderful young woman. So exciting.
And the sophomore from Croswell, Michigan, joins me now. A perfect 10, and perhaps just as important, a victory over Michigan in Ann Arbor. How you feeling?
I feel amazing. It was so nice to have our whole team here because we have such a large team, so this was the first meet that they all got to travel to, and it was such a special moment.
Sage, you came out and scored that perfect 10 in Vegas. Then you come here, I see you drill one in warm-up, and I'm thinking to myself, I hope she does that again. What were you thinking during that moment of celebration?
Everyone before me had done so well, so the pressure was kind of on as anchor, but I just used that as motivation.
Sage, massive crowd here. I anticipate a pretty big crowd in East Lansing for the Big Ten Championships. What would it mean to win that?
That would mean everything. It's so nice to have everyone there encouraging you and all these people that you know.
Well, what is next for this Michigan State team? You have this win. How are you going to move forward with this type of excitement?
We're going to keep climbing and doing the best that we can and making little improvements where we can.
Sage, I'm going to give you a high five for the 10 and the win. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, great job by Sage Kellerman. Great job by everybody involved here at the Chrysler Center for what has been an incredible crowd, incredible scene. Let's take a look at the all-around story here.
Sierra Brooks, she breaks the Michigan all-around record a couple weeks ago, comes here in front of a packed house and absolutely soars in the all-around competition. 39.575 across the board, so solid, and truly one of those athletes, like you said, Dean, from start to finish. She gets it done and knows how to be a leader for both this program, but also just NCAA gymnastics as a whole.
These two teams are going to go toe-to-toe at that Big Ten Championships in East Lansing. It should be fantastic, as it's been an incredible season to start, and we're rolling along. That's going to wrap it up for Michigan, where Michigan State, for the first time since 1990, gets a win in Ann Arbor. I want to thank my stat man, Gene Skidmore, then also the SIDs, Megan McIntosh from Michigan and Maggie Hudson from Michigan State. Coming up next, it's Big Ten Live, the basketball tip-off show. For the great Olivia Karras, I'm Dean Linke saying good night from Ann Arbor. Congratulations to Michigan State. After a break, we'll send you to Chicago and Rick Pizzo.